Do you just want to start talking? Do you just want to do that?
We can start talking. Should we do the shot first?
Yeah.
And then talk?
Yeah.
And just talk about the Tempest. We can start off with that.
Because
it's the freshest thing on my mind.
I agree. So I've got myself some Captain Morgan sliced apple. Thanks for tuning in. This just in with Annika Blomquist, my girl again. Hopefully this will be number 5 or 6 that I put out. I don't know. I've recorded a few. I just haven't actually edited them. So what have you got over there? Your bird dog?
Bird dog peanut butter flavored whiskey. Let's see if it really tastes like peanut butter.
Cheers.
Wait, hold on.
My lady.
Do
Do you need me to crack it? You got it. I believe in you. Yeah, I'll do it for you. Okay.
I loosened it for you.
You did fantastic. And so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cheers, tap the table, and go back. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And cheers, tap the table, go back. Oh my. That was better than the coconut. I had a coconut earlier. Yeah, coconut Captain Morgan, and it was not so hot. Especially, I drank apple juice right after as kind of a chaser. That was a horrible decision. I know.
Not the best chaser, now we know.
Yeah, no. Just not, at least for coconut. I think it was the flavors. I kind of feel like a little girl for the way I reacted to that.
I thought you were going to have the fireball.
I think I just haven't. Well, I kind of wanted to try the apple Captain Morgan. So, how was that one?
It was good. It really did. It tasted pretty good. It was just hard to tell as it's like going straight down your throat.
Right. Have you had the, I think, Old Smoky peanut butter?
No, I don't think so.
It's pretty good. That's one that Brendan Nowak, he's one of my buddies that lives with Sam Chaney at 10th and Laramie. That was, he gave it to me one time. It's pretty good.
I feel like I'd like it a lot.
Yeah. I've heard it's good with like grape soda. It's like a peanut butter and jelly.
I've heard that too about just any peanut butter whiskey and grape soda.
Yeah.
I had it though.
Yeah. I can't remember what kind I had. Maybe I feel like it was Bird Dog. I feel like I didn't like Bird Dog that much.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember though.
I don't know. All I'm really experiencing right now is the burning sensation afterwards.
As it goes down.
Yeah.
Of course. Let's talk about the Tempest, because this is the first time that I think I've watched a Shakespearean play live, and I just gotta say I'm not a fan.
So we should start out by, you had to go for a class.
I had to go for a class, yes. Excuse me. I had to go for a class. It's going to be for our final project. We write a paper, 3 to 5 page paper, basically establishing something. I can't even remember what the premise of the paper is supposed to be, but...
Hold on, your collar is popped and it's driving me.
Thank you for telling me.
There we go.
I can't believe you let me go this long.
I know, I can't either. I'm so sorry.
I started the podcast with that.
I know, I'm really sorry. I had one job.
Oh, one job. My co-host.
I'm just here to make you look good, and I've already failed it. We're not even 5 minutes in.
Well, I can't give you any more lighting because my house sucks. So
we're even.
Best of God. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. No, but the Tempest. Okay. So I don't know if anyone who's listening right now has seen a Shakespearean play, or the Tempest specifically. This was kind of a rendition put on by my professor. She was the one who directed it, and it wasn't like, I think the actors and actresses did a really good job. I just don't get theater that well, especially Shakespearean dialogue. It was too much for me. I couldn't even keep up with conversations. And I mean, you said after the play, it's like, just because you're putting a lot of drama into the line doesn't mean people understand what you're saying. So it just was a little too much for me, I guess. Or we had a couple drinks before. Maybe that made it harder to follow.
I don't think that was it. I think it's just like, I've seen a few Shakespearean plays live.
Yeah.
And I've seen mostly Romeo and Juliet. I've seen that one a few times.
Yeah.
But you really, as an actor, you have to really understand the line, or just like as the director, like the whole team, like you really have to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And put that correct inflection and action into it. Otherwise, no one understands what you're talking about. Otherwise, it's just words coming out of your mouth.
Fully where I was at.
So that's kind of how it felt to us, because like we didn't know. I didn't even know the story of the Tempest. Like, I'm sure maybe I've heard it in some English class before, but like didn't remember it.
Yeah.
So it's hard going in blind and not having any idea what it was even supposed to be about. And then hearing all these lines, and we were just like, what's happening? And who is that? And it was just really confusing. So.
Well, and when you have female actors play or female actresses playing
Yeah,
male actors
which
or male parts. You're like, wow.
men are
jeez.
hard to find in theater world. Like, I get
That's
that.
what I've heard.
But it was very confusing where it was like, this
Oh.
girl is in red and she's like got this cool costume, and then they call her Stefano, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I was like, is Stefano someone else? Like, who's Stefano? And I was really confused.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We were right next to a speaker as well, so I was sitting there, and even when I again, not that I would have understand the dialogue, whatever they were saying, the conversation, but with that speaker right there making whooshing, wavy sounds right in my ear, I was like, well, I can't hear what the hell's going on. I don't even know. I don't even have a chance at finding out what they're saying. So
that speaker scared me a couple times because I thought it was someone's phone going off.
Oh, really?
Like a few times looked over because I thought it was your phone going off, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, we're in this tiny theater, your phone is going off in this Shakespeare. No, it was just their sound effects.
Yeah.
So.
I still think, I don't know what scene, I don't know what was going on when the people walked out with like the masks, the long beak masks. I think people who were doctors back in the day wore these masks. It looked like a bird beak. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I think they were doctors. I don't know. But they walked out in these beak masks, these canes at their arms, and they're walking around all creepy. You said you were creeped out by it.
I was creeped out by it.
I was giggling
Which
my
they did a
ass
good
off.
job then. Like, if I was creeped out, that was their intention. Like,
I think that is what it was supposed
and
to be.
so they did a good job, but it was like, why am I creeped out right now? Like, I don't really know why.
That was the problem too.
I think Prospero did a spell or something.
Okay.
So it was on purpose. I just don't know what the purpose was.
I didn't know what was going on. Did you hear me giggling?
Yes, I did.
I was trying to keep from hysterically laughing. I was struggling bad because I didn't know what I thought. I have no idea what I thought was so funny, but I thought it was hilarious. Like just watching them walk around and crazy noises going on, and it was supposed to be so dramatic, and I was just like, I don't know if I thought it was so funny because I didn't know what the hell was going on, and it was just weird stuff happening. Yeah. I think that's what it was mostly.
You just didn't know why it was happening, so.
Yeah, so I found it comical just that I was ignorant to whatever was happening. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty ridiculous scene. I was mostly admiring the costumes the whole time. I was like, wow, they did such a good job on this. And like this one girl looked like she was a dancer, like outside of it. Like the
Which one? Was it one of the
She had a dude name, so I don't know what the name was. But
was it one of the two that
yeah,
were...
the sister with the mask that had pearls on it and like the netting.
So she had the long mask?
Yeah, not the purple one. The one that was sheer that had the little pearls on it.
Maybe, yeah.
The one with the short black hair.
Yes, okay.
She, like, I felt like was a dancer, and so she was like...
She kind of seemed... Yeah.
She, like, moved like a dancer, so I was just, like, observing things like that the whole time, because I didn't understand the story, so I was just looking at all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I don't get it, Annika. Theater is just not my thing, I think. Well, okay, I was telling you on the way back. I don't think Shakespearean theater is my thing, because I was in a few plays when I was younger. I was in one when I was in, like, 4th grade. I was in one 5th grade at middle school. I think 2 in 5th grade. And I played the lead role in both of them, I want to say. The one was supposed to be... The one that we had for the city that I played in at the Avenue Theater, I was, like... It was a really weird play on Christmas. And so my brother was part of this alien family, and I was part of this...
What?
Yeah. So my brother was part of this...
I don't think I would have known what's going on in that play either.
No, it made sense. I promise it made sense. More sense than tonight, I swear. So Ransom was in this alien family. I was in this human planet family. And basically they come to Earth, and we have to explain the meaning of Christmas to them. But for every family member, there's like a alternate alien. So I was Rob, I think. My brother was the equivalent of me and his family. I was the youngest brother, and then I had 2 older sisters. He was the youngest brother of 2 older sisters in an alien family. And
Got it.
That's all it was. It was like we had a perfectly identical alien.
So you were part of the normal family, and he was part of the alien family?
Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it? Kind of makes sense.
That's funny.
That was a cool play. I wish I had some kind of video of it, because that one was... I'd like to see how I was as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was a good actor. I have no idea. But I'd like to think I was okay. You know,
I'm sure you were.
You know,
I wish I could see it. How old were you again?
10, 11.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, as a little young kid.
Wish I could see that.
My mom definitely has pictures somewhere of us.
Oh, I'm sure.
Rehearsing our lines. No, I don't even know if we have pictures of the play itself. But she has pictures of the. If I could get the title of the play, I think the Avenue Theater has been pretty good about getting stuff out in the paper, so we might be able to find it. But I think my mom has a picture of us rehearsing our lines. I remember in our basement, in our back room where the washer and dryer are.
Yeah.
Rehearsing our lines, and we have a little baby goat next to us because we were trying to take care of our baby goat
when it was
cute. Freshly born. So I don't know.
I love it.
I want to say we performed like early January. It was
so after Christmas.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
That is kind of weird. Normally Christmas plays are before Christmas.
Maybe we may have done it Christmas Eve. I feel like we did a weirdly early show too. But I don't remember.
Who knows?
I don't know the norms of theater. Did you enjoy doing theater quite a bit?
I loved theater.
You did?
Yeah. I started when I was 11. Well, I started when I was in kindergarten. I played a tree.
Right.
And my best friend cut me down. It was a whole thing.
It's a big deal, I'm sure.
She was a tree, what are they called? Lumberjack?
Oh.
So
she was a tree something. Oh, yes. That's right, lumberjack. Okay,
whatever the name is for someone who cuts down a tree, that's what she was.
Okay.
And I just remember that I was dressed up as a tree. So, and then I did like plays with my friends in middle school. Like they would write a play and I was in it. I played another tree. This is a theme. I've been a tree twice. But the second time I could talk, and my name is Elmer.
Okay. Were there other living plants that could talk?
There were. I don't really remember. I have to get it. I have it at home. I have it on recorded. You could watch it.
Would love to.
I don't think I should have told you that, but I have the other one too, where I played a superhero named Miss Melancholy. It's a whole thing.
Melancholy. Because
we were obsessed with personality types. I don't remember what it's called, but there's like pragmatic, melancholic, choleric, like a bunch of names for certain personality types. Okay. So we all took a little quiz, and I'm melancholic. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise. And then there's
I think that would surprise some people that don't know you super well.
I guess that's true.
You know? Sorry.
Which doesn't mean that I well, never mind. It does mean that I cry a lot, but it means like that I just have like a more serious personality.
Right.
But anyway, me and all my friends were kind of typed ourselves, and then we gave ourselves these parts, and so I have that recorded too. But I was the superhero, so
that's ironic.
I know. I should really show you that next time you come down. You have to watch that.
You think your mom still has it somewhere?
I have it in my apartment. Like I know I have it.
You have scripts still, so I believe it.
Yeah. We used to write plays when I was a kid. Okay, I've been doing theater for a long time now that I think about it.
I think you would be a better director. I don't want to say a better director than my teacher, but
I've done a lot. It's watching it. I'm like, I understand why they're doing things. I can kind of like, I've done it before. Like I've seen all those same actions, all the same, because like every theater space is pretty much the same. Like you just kind of have the same space to work with. So there's only so many things you can do.
Right.
But I just started doing actual community theater when I was 11.
Community theater, okay.
That's when I went and actually auditioned.
That's when I did it roughly.
Yeah.
So that was like the first time I remember anyway, 4th or 5th grade. So, and you didn't go to public school until freshman year, right?
I never went to public school. It was a charter school.
Charter school, okay.
So it was like kind of a mix of private and public.
You were a weird homeschool kid.
I was a weird homeschool kid. And I chose to be that. My mom gave us the option, and I chose to be homeschooled.
Well, that's interesting that she gave you the option.
Yeah, because the charter school opened up near our home, and all my siblings chose to go there. And I chose to stay home.
Like what age did they choose to go?
Mary I'm not sure, but I know Mary went to middle school there because they were like the best years of her life, she says.
Wow.
So she loved it there. Ruby and Kaylee went there, and she thrived. And I stayed home, and Mom had Stefan, so I helped with Stefan, and he's my youngest brother, or he's the only brother, but
I forget. You guys have so many siblings. I have to keep up with 2.
Okay, so there's 5 of us.
Myself.
Yeah, you have it easy. So we've got 5 kids. I'm the oldest. There's 4 girls, and Stefan.
Poor Stefan.
The only boy, and he's the youngest.
Poor Stefan.
So when he was born 12 years ago, I was homeschooled, and I would just help with him, that was really good. I loved it because I was the first one to meet him because I was in that first play. So when I was 11, I was in My Fair Lady. That was the first community theater show I did.
Oh.
And Stefan was born during that show. Like, literally, my mom went into labor while we were performing.
Wow.
So my dad he didn't get to go to curtain call, which is where everyone does their bows.
Oh.
So he ran out early, I remember. And one of the cast members took me home. And the next day we walked on the way to the theater for the next day. We had performances the next day. It was like a Sunday, I think. And we stopped at the hospital on the way. And so I was the first sibling to meet Stefan, and I was super happy because I was 11 and it was like a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, we went to the theater, and as we walked into the dressing room, everyone started clapping because they knew that my mom had Stefan. So it was really cool.
Is that one of the plays you were a tree in?
No. I was not a tree in My Fair Lady.
What were you in that one?
I was like a ensemble girl. Like I was in the crowd. I got to wear fun outfits.
Okay. Cool.
It's really, but it did dancing and singing. It was really fun.
Okay. I remember in middle school, I was the role of Mr. Topeka. It was supposed to be Miss Topeka because that was the main role, but we didn't have many female actresses that were like outgoing enough to be the part that wanted to be the part. And I halfway auditioned for the role, and my teacher, Miss Alsop, this 75, 80-year-old woman, was like, yeah, you can do it. She's super old. Very nice woman, super old. Probably, I'd be surprised if she's still there / alive, but very nice woman, regardless. But the only line I remember, I don't even remember the plot of the play. The only thing I remember is one line where somebody called me Mr. Tapioca, and I was like, the entire class yells Topeka, and that's like the only thing I remember. I don't even remember what happens after that. I also have memories of a play. No, I don't have memories of this play, but there are pictures of it. I don't remember doing this play. It was something about bones. It was something about everybody had their own bone and came up and sang a line. I think it was kind of a musical.
You were a bone?
I was a bone. I don't know what bone I was.
What bone were you?
I don't remember the
Christy,
play.
What bone was he?
I doubt
Please let me know.
She has no idea.
She must have a picture somewhere.
I could probably find a picture because Matthew has sent it to our little group chat that we have.
Oh my gosh, I want to know what bone you were.
Were you the best friend from childhood? Shout out Matthew McCall. Love you, brother. I think he sent it into our group chat a couple times, and it's like him standing up next to up to a mic, and I'm sitting on the risers behind him, and we're in these blue and white outfits that signify us as bones. I have no idea what bone I was.
That's cute.
Probably hit my head a few too many times to remember. Like I truly don't have any memories of that play, so I don't know.
No, I was in a play like that. So when I was in Colorado a couple weeks ago, I ran into this girl that I know, and I know her name. I knew we were in a play together, but I thought it was a totally different one. And so we were, it was me, and I was talking to my friend Abby at church with my grandma, and she walks over. This girl's name is Maddie. She walks over, and I'm like, hey, and we're talking, and we're kind of telling Abby why we know each other, and Maddie's like, oh, we did theater together. And I was like, yeah, we were in Anne of Green Gables. She's like, no, I think it was Little Women. And I was like, you're right. It was Little Women. Don't remember doing Little Women. Would never have, I knew we did a show together. Mm-hmm. Did not think it was Little Women. And I was like, I don't remember what I was. I don't remember. I have the vague memory of being at a performance, but that's it. I don't remember anything about that show.
Do you know how many plays you've done so far? Any idea?
A lot.
A lot? You did quite a few?
I mean, I could try to count them, but I'm not really sure.
I could really count. I probably have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, the 2 that I said in middle school, the 1 Christmas one, and...
I'm at 10.
I want to say. Wow. I'm at less than 5 for sure. I can't even remember what ones I would have done more. I guess maybe 4 because of the Bones one. But
the Bones one. One time we did Spotlight for a show, so I wasn't technically in it, but I ran the Spotlight. That was cool.
Do you enjoy that?
I was just 14.
Click it on, click it off, and
I did the certain colors, and I put on certain. I remember it was the show. What show was it? It was White Christmas, I think, or something like that. But there was a tap number that they did, and there was this one. I watched it so many times. There's a certain few steps that I remember how to do just from watching it so many times.
Yeah.
But that was kind of fun. It was different. I prefer to be on the stage, but it was fun.
I gotcha. I'd be open to doing theater again, but I could not do Could not do Shakespearean. I just don't. And
Shakespeare is hard.
That, and it's just, for one, I don't think it's my taste, and I think it's just too much for me. I really don't know. I can't appreciate it at this point in my life. It's like, I said the same thing about the whiskey your dad got me. It's like, it's good, I guess. I don't know. I haven't had that many whiskeys. It just, I was bit. It had a bite to it like a mother, but I guess it was good.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Got to refine your taste a little bit, I think.
Maybe. I haven't tried that many whiskeys, so.
Well, I should have given you the peanut butter whiskey I had.
That's okay. I've had a couple.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Maybe I've had a few whiskeys. It's just not been in a type of connoisseur atmosphere. So it's like,
you're still in like the college world.
That's
so
what I mean. When I've tried
yeah.
a whiskey, it's not been like yes, this whiskey has a smokiness to it. It's been like all right, shooters down, let's go party.
Very different atmosphere.
Very different atmosphere. I think I'm evolving out of that party life
see it.
Hopefully a classy phase. We'll see.
Huh.
But it takes time, It's a life change. You're dealing with life change. How's that going? I know we've talked about it, but
lots of life change.
Yeah.
Just living by myself has been probably the biggest change. Like
Yeah.
going to work 9 to 5, like I prefer that to working an hourly job where my hours were different every week.
Yeah.
Like that was exhausting. And I would get up at 4 a.m. and some days I wouldn't work till 1. Like it was just really crazy. But now, and it was very physical work. It was just like very exhausting. Just like you're hauling boxes, you're moving stuff everywhere. Like it was just kind of a lot. But now I'm, now I sit at a desk all day. So it's like probably neither one was great for me, but
trade off. Yeah.
No, but living by myself is so weird because I've never lived. I mean, I've always been in a house of 7 people plus an animal. We've always had a pet.
Yeah.
So it's just like very weird to be all by I come home and everything's as I left it, and it's just a weird feeling.
Don't have to clean other people's dishes. Don't have to make anybody
right.
food.
And like also like I've been at college for the past 4 years, so I always have to consider my roommate. Like if I have dirty dishes, I need to wash them, or else someone's gonna get mad at me. Mm-hmm. Which that has happened before.
Really? Who got mad at you? Of your roommates, like who's gotten mad at you for not cleaning your dishes?
Well, we would have those house meetings, and someone made
it. Do you feel like that you were called out?
Yes, I was.
No, were you called out like,
oh, sorry,
Annika? Hey, this is how I feel. Hopefully that doesn't fall on you.
I'm scared now.
That's okay. But do you feel like it was? Did they say, "Hey, Annika, this is how I feel when you don't clean your dishes," or was it like, "Hey, when dishes aren't cleaned, this is how I feel"?
No, it was. Room? There was a general conversation about dishes, and then someone said, Annika, I don't want to resent you for the dishes or something like that. Okay. So called me out, and I tend to beat myself about stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't I hated house meetings. I hated them.
I know. You told me about them. Well, you feel singled out, I feel like, whenever you have, in your case, I don't know how house meetings went down. I didn't hear any conversation. But it's like when you have one girl saying something to you, and then you got 3-4 other girls listening to exactly what she's saying. It's like, oh yeah, I noticed that too. I don't like that either.
Right. And
you feel singled out.
And like everyone grew up very differently. Like in my house, dishes are the most overwhelming task because there's so many of them. There's only a few of us in the house who are willing to spend the time doing the dishes. And so we tend to put them off as long as possible until we have to. And then we spend like an hour doing them. So that's the kind of habit I was in. And so I would just get to a point where I was like, okay, I'll wash these dishes when I feel like it. And I would leave them. And so I don't remember how long I'd leave them, but I would leave them, and that's on me. But I think just house meetings, like my friends they really like to know what they're doing wrong so that they can fix it. They like to be called out. So if they're doing something that's annoying someone else, they want to know so they can fix it. Or they want to be able, if they're annoyed by something, they want to be able to get that out so it doesn't fester. And I understand that mindset. That
makes sense too.
It makes a lot of sense. So in a way, it's like really healthy. But at the same time, for me, it's like I'm already picking up on that like negative feeling. Energy, I feel it already. Like I know I should wash my dishes as soon as I put them in the sink. Like I should just sit there and wash them. But I don't. And like that's something that's on me. So someone else calling me out for it just made me even more mad at myself and then mad at them because I was like, well, now you notice it and now I'm mad at myself and mad at you because
mad at you for calling me out.
Right.
That's how
and
feels.
it's not, I'm not saying that's right. That's just how I felt about them.
Yeah, you can't always explain
But
your
I
emotions.
didn't like the kind of, it felt like just a time for everyone to get out like everything they didn't like about each other too.
Yeah, you told me about that.
So that was kind of hard, but maybe that's not how they saw it. Maybe that's just how I saw it. So.
Yeah, that's a weird thing because that's not how it's been in our house. I think kind of what happens with guys is like, if I feel a certain way, I just kind of find somebody to vent to, and then it's as good as done for me. I'm kind of past it, you know, and that's, again, probably need to hit it head on with whoever the problem is with, whoever I have an issue with, but I don't do that. And I don't know, something, again, maturity coming out of college, trying to learn, but
I feel like that's something you and I are really good at with, like you, like in our relationship.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like you and I are really good at tackling something head on instead of letting it fester.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think I'm good at recognizing when something's off with you, and so I kind of pester you until you're willing to tell me, hey, what's going on? You tell me what's going on, and then I don't think I've had too many situations where I've been like, hey, I need you to deal with this a certain way because you're normally in kind of you're a people pleaser. That's just kind of your personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to upset anybody. You don't want anyone to be in a bad mood.
Yeah. And I get to a point too where I'm like, should I even mention this? Like, is this something that I just need to work through in my own head?
Yeah. Before
I come to anyone about this. Yeah. Like, and that's how I felt in living in a house too, or like just having roommates. I was like, anything that annoys me, it's like, it's probably something that's bugging me too much and I should probably just get over it.
That's kind of how I get to. I'm like, I think this is probably my problem. If they don't have a problem with it, maybe it's my problem.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to do a little introspection, but I think it gets to a point where it's like, okay, now it's affecting my quality of life and my just living patterns, what I do from day to day. So I should say something. And I think what happens to me after that is it's like, oh, well, this has gone on for 3 weeks. Now it's going to be weird if I say something.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be weird if I'm like, hey, I'm not okay with this. But I think the longer you wait and the longer you just let it, you said fester, it just gets worse and worse and worse. But
yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Kind of a big, not a huge point in our relationship, but last night we went to the spring formal. We got all prettied up, had a great time. But before that, a week in advance, I had told Annika, hey, I'm buying us tickets to the spring formal. Didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. I was like, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have the spring formal. We had reminisced about 2 years ago when we went to the spring formal. That was, how many days after dating?
I don't know, but I remember asking my friends, I was like, should I even ask him to come? Like, it hasn't been that long. Should I even invite him?
Surely we'd been officially dating, right? Because it probably would have been in April. We'd been dating in March 30th.
We had just started being official, but I think I was still like uncertain because I didn't really know you that well by that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, should I even bring him? And they're like, yeah, bring him. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bring him.
Yeah, your friends are very outgoing, very intimidating for someone that is just moving into the friend group and trying to figure things out. But anyway, last night you were on your way here and you had expectations of last night. I didn't even ask you, what were your expectations of last night?
So you said spring formal.
Right.
Spring formal to me has always been, since high school till now.
You had spring formal in high school?
Whatever we had, a spring dance, whatever it was.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, prom has always been a formal dance. Like you get dressed up, you look really pretty, and you go to a dance. When I was talking to Justin on the phone, I had mentioned my outfit to you like 7 times. Too many times.
Yeah, okay. Too many is fair.
I had brought it up because I was nervous about it. I was like, do you think this is okay? And he said, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, oh my God, it's fine. That's all you have to say about it? It's fine?
I was probably playing Clash of Clans.
Probably. Sometimes we're on the phone. He plays Clash of Clans. And
he doesn't think
I know but I can hear him tapping on the phone when we're talking.
You're telling me you don't do anything on the phone when we're talking?
No, I literally put all of my attention into talking to you.
You don't get on Facebook Marketplace ever?
Okay, I have done
Instagram,
before.
never?
But most of the time,
verbalize it to me?
most of the time I'm literally sitting there just totally invested in the conversation we're having.
And I greatly appreciate it. I try to do the same thing, but sometimes Clash is calling. When
whatever.
I get a notification, I gotta figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay, whatever.
Please continue.
Okay, what was I even talking about?
Talking about last night, your expectations.
Okay, so I was expecting to go to spring formal. I was expecting it to be a dance. So I picked out this outfit, imagining it as, okay, this will be appropriate to wear to a dance. And he calls me out because I didn't tell him that I was coming up early. Okay, this is kind of complicated, but I get off work at 5.
Yeah.
And he texts me, and he's like, you got off early, didn't you? And I'm like, man.
Because she hadn't texted me in a while, so I was like, I think she got off early and she's trying to come surprise me. That just
yeah,
made
because
sense
he's
to
done
me.
that to me before. It's like, okay, I'm not going to tell him I got off early. Like, I got off at 4, and I was like, I'm going to be there an hour early. He's never going to know.
Yeah.
And then he texts me, like, halfway through the trip, and I'm like, dang it. Like, how did you know?
A little sleuth, little Sherlock Holmes, no big deal. You all right? You got COVID? Oh, no, your mic.
Dang it.
Dadgummit. Quick commercial break. Her mic started falling down. The light kicked back on. Thank goodness.
So much happened.
Also found out that our charger was not fully connected, so hopefully my phone's charging and we'll have video all the way through. As you were saying last night, you were driving up trying to surprise me. You
called me out. I called
you
you because I was like, well, I can't text him while I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I called you, and I was just like, how did you know? And we had this whole conversation. It was just really funny. And then I asked him just to reconfirm. I was like, okay, what time do we have to leave? And he said 6:30. And I was like, for the dance? And he's like,
it's a comedy show.
He's like, there's no dance. And I'm like, what? And he's like, we're going to a comedy show. And I'm like, okay, like, when was the dance canceled? Well, since always, like, there hasn't been. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay. And I hear his roommate, B. Moss, in the background, like, backing up what you were saying. He's like, yeah, sorry, Annika, like, we can dance if you want to. I'm like, it's okay, B. Moss, like, we don't need to dance. But I was like, okay, Justin's not pulling my leg because B. Moss is backing up what he's saying. So I was like, okay, well, I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you in about 20 minutes. And for the next 20 minutes, I just started replaying every conversation we'd had for the past week in my mind. Like, we had talked about spring formal. We talked about my dress. We talked about last spring formal. Like, I was so confused. I was like, when did we start going to a comedy show? When did this change happen? He didn't explain to me that spring formal turned into a cocktail hour, a dinner, and a comedy show because...
Yeah, I was just going to say, because of COVID, we weren't supposed to be dancing around each other, but we can sit right in front of a comedian without masks on and drink drinks, which I thought was kind of funny. But regardless, I didn't tell you that.
So it was still a formal event.
Yes.
But in my mind, when he said comedy show and that's all he said, I imagined we're going to like the OMAC dressed in jeans to watch some comedian that they hired. Like, that's what I pictured. And I was like, why did I bring this cute dress and stress about this for the past week? I was like, does he even listen to me? Like, I told him I was going to bring this dress. Like, he said it was fine. Like, I just...
Oh, you got a little frog in your throat. You got COVID. You really got COVID.
It's gone now.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it was just a whole thing. And then I got here and I was so mad because I was like, why don't you listen to me when I talked to you about this for a whole week?
Oh, yeah. You were very upset with me. You did not want to even talk to me.
I was so mad.
That was kind of a first. That's what I was saying. It was kind of a big deal last night because we have a pretty decent relationship. You know, I like to think it's a good one.
I like to think it's perfect, but, you know.
Obviously not. We found out last night. But just to have any tension in our relationship is not new, but what would you say? Like,
I don't know.
It's interesting because we don't have it very often.
We don't have it very often. I mean? Yeah, we don't normally have a situation where like one of us is really mad at the other and can say, "I'm mad at you."
Yeah.
Like, normally it's like we're both frustrated about something and we kind of talk through it and it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Last night was the time you were mad at me, and I was like, I was trying to give you everything. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't give you all the information. And the first thing you said to me was like, you're not planning our wedding. So you were like, you're not doing that. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I won't.
I was just like,
the DJ, but
I needed to say something because I just like didn't know what to do. I was like, I understand I'm overreacting now. Like, and I was like, I still didn't understand what it was at that point. Like, I didn't.
And that's fair.
If you had shown me an itinerary of the night, if you said it's in a formal event where there's a like if you had told me that, I would have been totally fine. But all you said on the phone was comedy show.
We're going to a comedy show.
I thought the plan had totally changed. I thought we were going to Kansas City. I don't know what I thought. I thought everything had changed. I was so confused.
And then when I think I asked you this too early, I think you were still in kind of a bad mood. I think I said, "Do you trust me?" And I don't know what you said to me, but it was
probably no.
It was not a happy answer, and I was like, that was too. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I was just, I couldn't believe it. I was so, and I was like, I know we're gonna have fun no matter what. Like, I know it's gonna be good. It was like awesome. It was a great night.
Last night was awesome.
It was like after the first 30 minutes, like we got past it and it was fine, but like I was so mad and my emotions had changed so much between that in that last 25 minutes. I just had to like recover, and once I like processed, I take a long time to process things.
That's what I was about to say.
I always got to process.
We have different processing.
Once I figured out what was actually happening, he got B. Moss's girlfriend to send a picture of what she was wearing, so I had some reference. I was like, okay. You felt fine. Then I was like, okay, I can still wear this. But
and
yeah,
you fit in just fine. There were plenty.
And it was perfect. It was awesome.
Now they had barbecue at the venue, which again, kind of questionable. It's like, we're wearing nice things. Super awesome. 10 Kitchen is great food.
So good.
But it's like barbecue.
Great dessert.
Barbecue? Why? We all got nice stuff on. I guarantee somebody got barbecue sauce on something they were wearing, and they were pissed. Pissed.
But it ended up being a really good night.
Oh yeah.
And it was miscommunication is all that was. I didn't ask the right questions. There were several times throughout the week I thought I should really ask him like what the itinerary is. Because I think you said the time 6:30 at one point and I just kind of ignored it. But I was like, that seems really early.
Are you admitting fault?
Yes, of course there's fault.
Oh. Well, I also admit fault. I didn't tell you shit, so that's my own bad. That's my own fault.
Thank you for admitting that.
There were some of those. I love when you got there last night. You were like, I miss the weird couples. The weird couples of BC.
Okay, because.
Well, you said it the right way. It's like there's a pure innocence to them, and it's awesome. It's really nice to see because there's not that many couples who are like that. I don't even know if those couples last, but it's like, it's cool to see. They truly have a fondness for each other.
Yeah.
They're willing to.
And they're just like, it's so pure and innocent. And like when they touch, you can tell it's like just awkward. Like it's just so awkward for everyone involved. But it's sweet. It's just like it's affectionate. And it's just, they're dancing.
It's like a 5th grade.
Yes,
school dance.
Exactly. There's room for Jesus all over the place. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's cute.
It's fantastic.
And I was just like, I miss this.
Did you enjoy the comedians last night?
I did.
You said you
like
were
I told you,
times.
I would have enjoyed them better in a different environment, I think.
Yeah.
I think the second one, what was his name?
Michael
something.
I couldn't tell you either of their last names.
He was like an older guy. He was like 50, he said.
I liked him quite a bit.
He was really good for that environment, I think.
Funny.
I think part of it, I learned afterwards, I think it was really the hangar that we were in. So the venue was this airport. It was going to be the Amelia Earhart Museum or something like that.
Yeah.
So they had an airplane in the middle and it was like a big hangar, which was really cool.
It's pretty badass.
But the acoustics were not that great. So I think a lot of people couldn't hear him, or any of them, which was part of the problem.
He had 2 speakers right next to the stage, and then there's a plane in the middle of the room, and then there are tables all around. Granted, there were seats right in front of him, so we could all hear him, everybody who was sitting right in front of him. But everybody who was out at these tables, they just couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
Those speakers
so
weren't loud enough.
That was kind of, I feel like that was just kind of not helping them. But it was, I feel like the first guy, Alfred, I would have liked better like in a bar setting or something where it wasn't a bunch of conservative Catholics all in one room. Like,
I don't think he knew his audience.
I
as
don't
well
think
as
he
Michael
did. Michael kind of did. You could tell he'd kind of done his research. But like Alfred said something about Ravens, and he was talking about the Baltimore Ravens, and we were like, no, we're the Ravens.
That's our mascot. That's
like, he didn't even know that. So I just think like he didn't.
He was ready to talk football though.
Yes, he was. And he was like, oh wait.
He was about to say something. But.
So I liked them, and I could see why they were funny, but I was uncomfortable because of the audience.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was giggling my ass off.
You were. I'm glad. I liked looking over at you because I could tell that when you thought something was funny.
Even the racy sexual jokes. I just, I've seen Family Guy. I've watched touchy comedy, so I'm kind of like, okay, that was funny. He started telling that joke. He started out with the joke about Alfred, the first comedian. He's from California. He's pretty funny. He's this black guy, and he started to say that he was, if he wanted to start a support group, he would start a support group for black men who were 6'3" and over, and what do you say? It would be called. We don't play basketball. No, we don't play basketball. No, we're not professional basketball players. Whatever it was. It was really funny.
And he's like, I don't see any candidates for that in this room. And we were like, that's fair. That's funny.
And
I liked that.
I thought it was funny. But his first joke, I think he started talking about he got back into the gym for the first time in a year or whatever.
Oh, God.
I thought that was hilarious because I knew the room. I knew the room was not supposed to hear that.
No, and that's why I didn't find it. Like, the reason you found it funny, it's the reason I did not find it funny.
Right. So
and then he changed it to the Bible, and I was like, okay. But it was too late. I was like, I can't.
Yeah. Essentially, the joke was he said, I came back from a year of not working out. Came back from a year of not working out, and my right arm was way stronger than my other. It was so
he
weird.
Was like accentuating the fact that he was home alone. Like
he started talking about quarantine and all this stuff. And then he finally said, because that's my Bible hand. And that was the punchline.
But everyone before that's like, oh, because he goes on about it for a little while.
And at BC, that's not exactly a topic that is laughed at or
celebrated,
supported.
Right, supported is a good word. Yeah.
And so that's why I was giggling at it.
And I was just like, and it was the first thing. It's what he came out of the gate with, and so that's why I was like, Alfred.
But I thought it was funny.
You thought it was funny.
I think P. Moss and I both thought it was kind of.
You guys did.
Again, not because the joke was that funny, but because of who he was telling it to. It's just the atmosphere of the room. I was like, that's hilarious that he doesn't understand what he's saying to these people.
Yes.
So.
Oh, God.
He also said something that I don't think you picked up. He mentioned shoot. I can't even remember the joke he was talking about, but he dropped like a porn website, and the guys were like looking at each other, and I was like, I know the name, so I was like, oh geez, like the guys fully knew what he was referencing, and I don't think any.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think there was a female in the room that got it, and I was like, I don't know if that was a well played one or a poorly placed one, but regardless, some people got it.
Yeah, I did not get that at all.
Yeah, but. Regardless, he was okay. I really liked Michael a lot better because
Michael was good.
Michael seemed more experienced. He seemed, again, he knew his crowd a lot better. That's what it seemed like. He was talking to us. He's like, he knew we were college students. He was like, "What's your major?" He called me out. He called a bunch of other people out. He's just like, "Oh, you're an RA." And Tim was
ruthless.
Tim is a horrible audience member.
He should not have been in the front row.
Tim Lowe, I am so sorry, dude, but you were a horrible audience member.
He was a little under the influence.
I don't even think it's that. That's kind of just Tim.
No, that's what he said to somebody. I heard him.
Oh,
not that Tim, he was under the influence.
I truly feel if Tim felt like it, he would say that anyway. That's just kind of how Tim is. He's funny like that. And so Michael, the comedian, was talking about RAs, and he called somebody out because somebody raised their hand and said, "Oh, yeah, I'm an RA." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, so what's the first day like when you're an RA?" And he's sitting there. He's like, "All right, we're gonna be strict." He basically portrayed a strict character of an RA.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What's it like on the last month of being an RA to your group?" And he was like, starts pulling out his billfold, and he's like, "All right, I gotta ask questions," or I don't know how he said it. He was like, "I'm only gonna ask this once. Who needs beer?" Starts flipping his singles over. It was pretty funny. And he's like, what are RAs like here? And Tim goes,
Tim's like, they're not like that at our school.
he's like, they get stricter.
They're the worst at our school. And I'm like, Tim, they can hear you.
It was funny though, because Tim's pretty funny too.
Oh, he was so funny.
Tim cracks me up.
He was great.
Tim's
I
funny.
got to sit by him at dinner. He was so funny.
Oh, did you get to talk to him a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
Tim and Liz. Tim cracks me up.
He's goofy.
Yeah.
They're all goofy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Oh no, but I was just wondering what the people who hired him were thinking. Like Diane, who runs like student life activities.
I bet they like
I was wondering what
Michael a little bit more.
I know. I was just wondering what the whole time I pictured them standing in the back and I was like, I wonder what they're thinking right now.
Yeah.
But
Diane's awesome. I think she did a really good job of putting that together.
it was good. I told Justin, I was like, they offered them free cigars when you walked in.
Cool.
Not free. We paid for the tickets.
Yeah,
But-
regardless.
But it was cool. I was like, I don't smoke, but it felt classy. It was like, okay, what kind of cigar would you want? And Justin's like, oh, well, I'll take a sweet one or whatever.
Sweet one but they were cheap, 25-cent cigars.
Yeah. But it was still like, it felt fancy.
Yeah.
So.
I could have got 10 of those for $2. That's really how that was.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was definitely, we went outside and
we got some drinks. We had some good food. We didn't get to dance.
But
we got to see some awkward couples dance. So
Yeah,
that
danced
was almost as good.
before dinner was served. I wish I could have gotten some dinner to take home. Oh, we got some glasses. I
put mine away.
That's okay. Is there not? Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought it would be anywhere around.
I don't know why either.
Whatever. But they were cool. They have a little Benedictine bee on it, and it says,
I bet Pat ordered them.
You think so? Is she that? Yeah. She is. She has all those glasses and mugs and stuff in the
She
store.
probably ordered them for that event.
That makes sense. Pat's pretty awesome. Did
She
you like
is.
working at the Raven store quite a bit?
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
But how would you compare that to Old Navy? You didn't like Old Navy quite as much.
No. But
so,
Raven
what's
store
the
was much.
difference? Because it's retail.
I am like a small environment person. Old Navy is a big environment, huge corporation, very different values from my own. They don't really value. That's wrong. They don't value your time as much. Like their turnover is insane. Like
I fully believe that.
Like they hired so many kids while I was there, and I say kids because they were like high schoolers, and that's how old I was when I started there. And it was just like, I don't know. It was just like, you're there to do one thing. I was there to unpack a box, put everything away. I was there to get Old Navy cards. I mean, I'm just another number in the system, Whereas at the Raven store, like, people remembered me.
Yeah.
President Minnis remembered me.
Yeah. That was cool seeing him at Mass today.
That was cool, sitting with them at Mass.
I didn't even see him until after the homily, and I was like, wow, him and his wife. But that was so funny because she came in, and I was like, wow, she's got some perfume on.
So you saw someone sat down.
I saw them sit down right next to us. I just
You
saw
didn't
his
realize
wife.
it was them.
I don't know. I had no idea what his wife looked like. I had never seen her before. So when she sat down, I was just like, oh wow, I can smell her perfume. I knew
she walked in and sat down at the pew, I had this cloud of her perfume, and I was like, whoa.
It was just a strong scent.
Yeah, and then I spent the rest of Mass trying to remember what her first name was. And then I figured Amy Minnis.
Is that what it is?
Amy, I think.
No idea.
If I'm wrong, that's
Sorry.
really embarrassing.
Hey, we got P. Minnie. I thought his name started with a P for the longest time because I heard P. Minnie. I really thought that. It's Steve Minnis.
Steve Minnis.
Steve.
Probably Steven.
Probably Steven, right? P-H-E-N.
But Steve Minnis, I don't know.
I don't know. I just keep with P. Minnie because
yeah, but he used to know who it was. Diane Hall used to know who I was, but she doesn't anymore, I don't think.
You don't think she recognizes you?
No, because we used to work together on the International Student Ambassador Board. I used to be in meetings with her, but I don't think she remembers me because when I saw her last night, I don't think she remembered me.
She probably deals with a lot of students.
I'm sure she does, yeah. So I'm not worried about it, but it is impressive the faculty that remember people, like the amount of students on campus. They do a really good job.
Granted, over time, I can understand if they don't remember me after 5 years. I'm gonna be like, hey, class of X, Y, and Z. I guess I should be class of 22. We'll see what happens, but it's like. I'll be all right if Joseph Dean Wirtz, doesn't remember my name. I'm not going to be offended. So,
yeah,
that's the fact that President Minnis is able to remember anybody's names. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah,
going through 70 years of life, I'm amazed that people can, remember that many people's names. Just
Yeah.
that you
One
don't
of
see on
my-
a daily basis.
Yeah. One of my first memories coming to Benedictine was Pete Helgeson
Yeah.
walking up to me and my dad, and he like
Is this
introduced
like,
himself.
You said this was visiting, or is
Yeah,
this...
it was visiting.
Wow.
And he knew my name, my school, where I was, like the city I was from. Like he knew all this stuff about me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so cool. Like I'm sure he was memorizing, you know, he had all these
course.
but it made such an impact that I came to the school and someone already knew me and cared about me. Like that was so cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I came to Benedictine.
Yeah, and that's something else that's cool is like when you get here, if you really need something, you're gonna find somebody that's gonna help you out.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be, you come into the wrong office. It's not gonna be a, hey, get out of here. It's not gonna be a, hey, you're not in the right place. You need to go find the right place. It's gonna be, even at student life, I work at student life. I'm like, let's see. So you're looking for the English department. Let me see if I can find your extension.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
We would even do that in the Raven store.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you need to go up in this way. You need to go here to this building, and it's called so-and-so. You'll probably see this statue. You'll go up the Raven Walk, whatever it is. And it's just, there's an awesome community here. There really is. That's something I've talked with Spencer and B. Moss about a little bit. Is like, when it comes to my buddies back home, love you guys very much. And Jay can vouch for this. Jay came here as
I remember.
Jay came here as a track athlete, so he can vouch for this as far as like different atmosphere entirely. So I don't mean to call it more mature atmosphere. I call it a more sheltered atmosphere because like they really, I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how it's done, but on campus there's not stuff where I don't know if like being a wet campus has something to do with it either, but just we're not seeing the same things that you see at state schools. You go to a house party here, not even close to the same thing as a house party in Springfield, Missouri. Maybe that's a population thing. Maybe that's just the school. I don't know, but I'm sure state schools have a completely different atmosphere than what we're used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's interesting. I don't really know what that reason is, but I think it's a people thing for sure. It's just like the people that we have here, you know, a lot of them, not everyone. I mean, there's definitely a mix of people, but it is kind of a sheltered environment. So like certain people aren't going to go to those parties, you know? But even so, it doesn't get that crazy. Sometimes bad stuff happens, but it is kind of a sheltered place to be, which I don't think is always a bad thing. Like, I don't mind being a little sheltered. Like, I don't need to know everything.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think, again, talking with B. Moss and Spencer, it's like, I feel like it's caused me to, one, mature more. Two, I learn more about, I mean, this might go with maturing, but learn more about myself and learn more about the things that I want to do with my life and understand. Me personally, I don't want to go out and party. It's just kind of fun. I enjoyed it freshman, sophomore year, but now it just kind of feels like I'm wasting my time. It's like, what am I doing with my life if I'm really going out to a party till 4 a.m? Now, granted, I went out on Toga Tuesday.
but you got to go out on Toga Tuesday.
Yeah, of course.
Even I went out on Toga Tuesday.
Exactly. No, but I went out on Toga Tuesday, and I ended up the night talking with Maggie Sweeney, which you said you don't know. You do know her?
I do know her.
Okay. I think I told you I talked to her until like 2:33 in the morning. But we were talking about serious stuff. It wasn't like we were just bullshitting, talking about.
See, I love that kind of thing. Like, that's why I would like to go to parties. I hardly ever got that when I go.
If you can end up there.
If you can get to that point. I hardly ever got to that point going to parties. So I didn't enjoy it. It was very exhausting for me to go to parties. So I just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
But
I think from what I found, you have to find the right people. So I found her. I just happened to be across the street at the end of the night, and we were talking, and then we were kind of bullshitting around for a while, and then I was finally like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask this question. And so I asked, oh no, I just heard something beep.
I heard something beep.
I don't know if that was, seems like it was my mouse, which is totally fine.
Your ergonomic mouse.
My ergonomic mouse. Also, if you know anything about ergonomics, I'll tell you all about it. You just drop it in the comments. But anyway, so first I saw Cody Sisson over at Third and Mound, and I was talking to him, and it was cool talking to him because he's out of college now. He graduated last year. He was a year older than you, though. He would have been a fifth year. I can't remember if he was going to do PT school or PTA. I think he was doing physical therapy assistant, but I don't know
Okay.
for sure. And we were kind of just talking about, like, I was telling him I'm doing my podcast, and he was like, you know, I have been wanting to watch it, whatever. And then he was saying, we were talking about just life after football, and I was saying, I've said these things that I'm going to do after football when I'm done with it, and I got to a point where I was like, I have to do it because football's over now. I can't just sit around on my ass and then be like, oh well, after school after school I'll do this,
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally started a podcast, and he's like, yeah, and the thing that distinguishes amateur, mediocre people from great people are the small things, and that's just getting into a conversation with him was really cool at a party. You know? It's not, I don't feel like you always find that at a party. And then later that night, I went and talked with Maggie Sweeney about God, about religion, about all sorts of stuff, and it was like a good conversation. I'm glad I'm able to find myself in those conversations at this school. I feel like those would be much harder to find if you're looking for them. Yeah. So
you said you kind of had that on spring break too, like just talking to guys, and
yeah,
I think that's so important. Like that's kind of what I got when I was here, and yeah, I think it's a really special thing about this place. So
yeah, the guys I went on spring break with were a lot of good dudes. Some of them I'll be living with next year, and some of them I won't be, but I hope to see quite a bit because I just feel like everybody is bought into this thing called life, and including God in it, and trying to get the most out of it that we can.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of having a successful life. So might not quite be right, but I'm trying to figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. You gotta, I think I've told you this. I don't know what I define success to be yet, but I want it. I fully want it. Whatever it's going to be for me, I want every step that I take to be towards the action or towards the end goal of being successful, whatever I end up defining success being. And I think it'll take some time, but hopefully I get there. Do you know what you want success to be? What's your success story? Well, not success story, but what's your image of success?
I don't know, but you know what I think of whenever we have this conversation?
What?
Because we've had this conversation a few times.
We have.
We like to talk about the future, which I think is a good thing.
I think it's a healthy thing.
It's an exciting thing, and because I think this is kind of a side note, but I think it's important because it helps us recognize that we're not always going to be the same that we are right now. Like I'm going to change, and you're going to change, and I'm going to love you through that, and I think that's just really cool. But anyway, but I always think of this.
Did you get a little fluttery inside?
Yeah, I just got a little happy inside.
Go ahead.
But I think about. We like to listen to The Greatest Showman. It like pumps us up.
She got me on this musical. If you don't know what it is, The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, and
yeah, it's just like the music gets you pumped up. Like we'll be on a.
I was thoroughly. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
I just wanted to say.
Go ahead.
It's kind of for my guy friends because I know they're probably like, what the hell, a musical?
No,
what?
I was gonna tell them it gets us pumped up.
No, I'm just saying that this is. All I'm saying is I was thoroughly impressed with this musical because I was like, if you can appreciate music, I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good music.
Yes. You should see us jamming out to this soundtrack on the way back from West Plains. Oh my gosh.
Screaming our hearts out. It's a good time.
3 hours in, you're getting tired, you're getting bored. What do? Put on The Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman. It's a fantastic
awesome.
fucking time.
But the point of what I was trying to say.
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
Is there's a song in there where they sing this song called A Million Dreams. And there's a line where she says, however big, however small, let me be part of it all. And that's what I think of whenever we talk about this. Because whenever you talk about dreaming and success and everything, that's how I feel. It's like, however big, however small, I want to be part of it. And for success for me is like, of course, like I really want financial success because my family struggled with money, and I know yours has, and everybody, but
yeah,
everybody struggles with money, and my family's been through so much, and it's why I can never tell anyone when someone asks where I'm from, I can never give a straight answer because I'm from like a bazillion different places at this point. And
that's a different thing too altogether. Well,
yeah,
maybe not quite. Sorry.
But that's all because of money and like my family's money mindset, all that kind of thing. And so so finances are definitely part of it. But part of it too is just like, I just want to take what we've learned from our families and just make that into our family. And just, I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like. And just, I'm not really sure what success looks like either. And I don't think it's this kind of hustle culture kind of success that we kind of hear about in other podcasts and things like that. But I think it's I'm looking forward to a success where like we can really give back and like we can give back to our family, give back to our community, and we can, raise our kids to be better than we were, and like teach what we wish we would have known. And I'm just really looking forward to that.
Yeah. A few things that I think go into success. I still don't think I have it fully defined, but I think I have a few things that I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this has got to be part of it. So first thing is like, if you can do something that is giving back to others and you are satisfied in doing it, I fully believe that's a part of success, Say, you enjoy cleaning somebody's boots for them every day. I'm going back to a 1930s thing where somebody shines your shoes or whatever. If that's really what you enjoy doing every day and you're enjoying giving somebody that luxury, that's awesome that you enjoy that. You're making a living. That's life. But I think if you're able, also part of success is yourself being happy. You have to make yourself happy before you can make others happy. But at the same time, you have to know what the right things that make you happy. So like material things don't necessarily they don't make you happy in the long run.
Right.
This new truck I get, these new shoes, this new whatever it is, phone, wallet, I don't know, whatever it is, it's not going to make you happy in the very, very long run. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you need to understand what makes you happy long term. That way you can make others happy, your children, friends, family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what you value, what you care about, that I think, maybe this is very general, but I think you kind of got to narrow it down for yourself, whoever it might be. So I don't know exactly what it is that always makes me happy day in and day out, but I think I'll think about it. If I'm able to think about it in moments of despair and moments of being just upset about anything and everything, just to change my mood like that, okay, I'm happy. I can go deal with these things and care for others and give to others, and then I'll be even more happy. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking out of my own experience and understanding of it, but I don't know. We all got our own walks of life, right? So everybody's got their thing.
Everybody's got their thing.
I say that to B-Moss all the time. Did any of that make sense whatsoever?
Yes, it did.
Okay. I don't know if I rambled too much because I had a lot of thoughts going on there. Where I was like,
gotta get your thoughts out. Gotta express them.
That's the problem when I'm trying to give out thoughts. It's like,
you got a lot of
I
thoughts.
start saying one, and then as I'm saying it, I'm like, well, you got to understand where I'm coming from when I say that. So
it's okay. I over-explain all the time. I'm a big over-explainer.
I know.
I do it in my job sometimes.
Yeah.
In my emails to people.
Yeah.
I want them to totally understand everything that's happening.
See.
My boss is like, they don't need to understand Annika. And I'm like, okay. Let me take out these 2 sentences, and then it's perfect.
This is in emails for me. I try and condense it to as little as possible with as much information as possible. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say, okay, this is why we have to do this, but this is what we can do. Just all in one single sentence. But that's just me. But you're like talking. You said you talked to your mechanic.
Oh.
Your mechanic, and you're like, oh, I drove from Tennessee all the way to KC.
Oh my gosh. I went to get an oil change for the first time.
Please
what?
Nothing. I can't keep a straight face.
I went to Firestone across the street from my apartment to get an oil change. I felt so grown up. And I went in, And I had set an appointment and everything because of COVID and all these things. So I went in and so I sit there for an hour and then afterwards it's done and I go up to pay and the guy's telling me, all he says is like, your car's in really good condition. And I'm like, okay, is there anything I need to worry about? Like that might need to pay for in the future? That like anything you can see that might get worn down? And he's like, no, everything looks really good. It looks like you guys have like someone's been taking care of this car. And all of a sudden, I just feel the need to explain why it's in good condition. It's not because of me. Like, I have to explain, like, yeah, I bought it from CarMax. So the guy who owned it before me had it for, like, all this time. But he didn't really drive it that much. So, like, that's why it's like this. And, like, I drove it from Tennessee. Like, I've driven all over the country. And so I just felt like it was time to get, like, I had to explain all of this.
Entire thing.
And because there's silence when you're talking to a cashier, right? Like, he's helping me. He's ringing me up. He's like finishing up the transaction. And I just have to fill the silence by explaining everything about my car and its history. Yeah. And it was just, and afterwards I talked to Justin and I was like, why do I do this? Like, why do I have to explain? And this guy probably didn't care. He's like in his 50s and he's just helping me with get my oil changed. But in my head, I'm like, why did I have to explain everything about my car?
You said he probably doesn't care. No, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Nothing against you, Annika. It's
correction.
Just like,
he doesn't care.
I'm
he probably
sorry.
rolled his eyes as I was telling him. No.
He's probably just like, this pretty girl. It's cool. She's wanting to tell me her whole life story. That's just life, I guess.
It's horrible. And I've been a cashier. Like, I worked in retail for years.
People give you that life story?
There are people who tell you their life. Okay, worse than I've done. Like, people tell their life story when you're at the cash register.
Yeah.
It's something.
Oh, it's...
So I didn't do that necessarily. I just told the life story of my vehicle.
Yeah.
And that was bad enough, so.
Did I ever tell you about the crackhead at the pool?
The crackhead at the pool.
I don't think I told you about this.
It sounds like a Nancy Drew novel.
A what?
Nancy Drew novel?
Is she the detective writer?
Did you? I guess you're a boy. You didn't read Nancy Drew.
I did not read Nancy Drew, but I knew she was a detective at least.
The crackhead at the pool.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Yeah, sorry. Another one might be coming here in a second. I'm feeling bloated. These are okay. I meant to address this earlier on in the episode. We're drinking Mike's.
Shivery.
You're cold? Really? It's 45. It's not 45 in the kitchen.
It's probably 35 in the kitchen.
60. Probably 60.
It's always super cold in this house. Can I get my robe? Will that look bad on the podcast if I get my robe?
No, please go get your robe.
Yes.
I'll talk about
Guys,
the
it looks
Mike's
awesome.
Harder.
It's purple.
I feel like it's pink.
It's purpley pink.
I think it's pink. But regardless, I'll go ahead and talk about... Oh, yeah, the Mike's Harder. That's what I was saying. So, yeah, I was looking for the Bud Light seltzers, the lemonade seltzers. I like those a lot. And they didn't have them at Stop and Go in Atchison, Kansas, which is kind of a bummer. But I was like, you know what? I'll try these out. And they are so sugary. They're good. They taste all right. But I can't... This is number 1 in the past hour, and it's just way too much. Anything that's sugary normally gives me a very big headache the next day.
Now you can title this Review of Mike's Harder Lemonade.
Mike's Harder Lemonade did not sponsor this podcast. Thank you.
Okay, I'm cozy now.
You feel better?
Yes,
Do you want me to bring the heater out?
My drink matches my robe.
You're going to make me run the electricity bill up.
No, I know. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm wearing my robe now.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. If you insist.
I insist.
Do you enjoy doing podcasts with me? This is not
I do,
number 2,
because we talk like this regularly. So it's kind of fun to record it and realize how much we talk about.
Yeah, we talk about quite a bit. We cover a lot of topics. We cover everyday topics. We cover real life topics. I think we could probably put our relationship a little more out there as far as just saying...
Out there.
All I mean, you're already talking about communication. Like, we do a good job of communicating.
We do a great job of communicating.
For the most part. Apparently, I don't.
You don't do a great job of communicating.
But do you trust me?
Yes.
Okay, Sherry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in trouble. That's her mother's name. That's her mother.
Intense.
That's her mother's name.
We're in a fight now.
Why are we in a fight? We're not fighting? Okay, let's dispute it right now.
I don't want to.
Settle it. Oh, you're too tired?
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
Too much?
It faded. It's gone.
Too much to resolve?
I don't get angry that often, That was another thing that made me so mad yesterday, is that he made me mad. So it made me more mad.
Okay.
Because I don't get mad.
So it made you more mad that I made you mad.
Yes. Because I was in the car and I was just like, this is ridiculous. I don't need to feel this way. Annika, you're being dramatic.
You're at 40% anger at Justin because he didn't quite tell you all the details, and now you think you're going to a comedy show and you shouldn't have brought everything that you brought. Now you're 60% mad because Justin made you mad. What?
I didn't say it made sense. I'm just saying this is the way that I felt.
All right, as long as we both recognize that, thank you.
I don't know. I'm still processing. It takes a while to process.
I thought we were over it. We
are over it. I'm just still processing.
So processing is being over it?
I am over it. I'm just probably will still process it for the next several weeks.
So is there a chance you'll be mad at me next week about it?
No, I won't be mad at you. I'll just still be thinking about it. Be like, why was I so mad?
I don't know if I believe that.
I won't be mad at you.
So you won't rehash it over in your head and say,
no.
I'm still pissed that he didn't tell me.
No, I'm over that. I'm over it. I will just still, I will reflect on my own actions and be like, why did I react the way that I did?
Okay. I believe you.
I still do that about things that happened like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think I've learned to drop things from the past.
That's good for you.
I think it would be healthy for you. Only because
I'm sure that it would.
I wish I could tell you what has worked for me, because I've definitely had times.
Because you're a guy.
Well, that, sure, but I've had times in my life, like in high school, I think I had plenty of times where I look back at my past. I still have times where I look back at my past and I think about things and I'm like, I should have done this differently. And then I think I'm pretty good at shortly going, that's past, can't think about it. I can't do anything about that right this second. In the future, I'll do better. In the future, I'll make a different decision that I'll be happy about. I'll not have regrets about. But
yeah.
So specifically, the number one that comes to my mind. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've told you this one.
Uh-oh.
So when we were on a track meet, so I had to be at least in 5th grade. I think I probably was in 5th grade. 5th grade, we go to a track meet at the public high school track where I played football. They had a big track around the field, but I went to a rural school which didn't go to this track every day. But we go there for the track meet and we go through the track meet, whatever. There's a bunch of 8th graders there, and for whatever reason, I lose my voice. Right, so my voice is all hoarse, and I don't even know if I could emulate a hoarse voice, but I couldn't talk, and I was all raspy and stuff, and I guess I did a decent job of pretending like I had a hoarse voice, and people.
Oh, you were pretending.
I was pretending, fully pretending. I think my voice was probably a little, like, 5% raspy. It was probably a little hoarse from running or something, and so then I just accentuated it. And I got 8th grade girls to be like, "Oh my gosh, it's so funny! Listen to him. He has a raspy ass little hoarse voice." And I don't know. I just kept it going, and then I saw my best friend Matthew and his sister Haley at Dairy Queen about 40 minutes after the track meet, because you get picked up from the track meet and you go somewhere to eat. And then I'm talking to him like nothing happened. And Haley was like, "Wait a second, didn't you lose your voice?" And I was like, "It came back." I was like, "Oh yeah, I got it back. It's cool. I'm all good now." It's like, what the hell? You got your voice back just like that?
You're magic.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just wanted attention.
That's exactly what it was. Are you kidding me? A little, 10, 11-year-old?
That's funny.
I was confused. Ransom was my older brother. He didn't want me to have attention, so anytime I got it, I was like, let's go.
Youngest child.
Thumbs up, baby.
All the way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You are not the youngest child. You can't
no, I was the oldest.
You can't
child.
say youngest child all the way.
I know a youngest child. I know how he acts.
I feel like that logic isn't. I feel like there's some flaw in there.
You're the youngest. He's the youngest. I don't see what the difference is.
That's like a male supporting feminism and being like, "Yeah, I'm all with modern feminism." We were talking about this earlier. Modern.
I don't think this is the same.
First wave. At least hear me out. So it's like some male supporting modern feminism and being like, "Yeah, I support them," and just being kind of bitched down by feminists, you know, because that's fully what that is.
Yeah,
That's absolutely
it is what that is.
That's absolutely a
That's
male who is supporting that. I feel
Poor men.
I don't know enough about it, so I'd have to look more into it. But I feel like that's just being bitched down by women and being like, at least I'll get a girl this way. I might get a wife.
Literally though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a tactic. It's a real deal. There are alpha females in nature, so I'm not saying it's a implausible tactic of getting a female. It wasn't my tactic. I had to go out there and try and be an alpha dog and have to fight off all the other people who are trying to be alpha dogs. You know
Worked out.
You know what I'm saying?
What
Everybody comes up to you at the lunch table and I'm like, you know what? Back the hell up. This is my girl.
That didn't happen, by the way.
Okay.
No one walked up to me at the lunch table, just him.
Okay. I literally fought them off with my bare hands, but whatever. All of them.
It was a dinner table, just to be clear.
How many did you ask? How
What?
many males did I fight off to get you?
How many?
All of them?
All of them.
All of them. I just wanted to say that.
I knew that's where that was going.
You did not.
Yes, I did. When you said how many, I was like, oh. Is that supposed to be me? Because it doesn't sound anything like me.
I think it sounds exactly like
No,
you.
I sound like me.
Can you get real quick? Can you give me a ruh?
Ruh.
I feel like you can go lower than you realize because sometimes it's a whisper and sometimes it's a raspy, really low voice. That's like a little zombie from Minecraft. I've told you that before. Ruh. You gotta have the power behind it. Ruh. This is a little inside joke we've had since I don't know when. I don't even know when I started doing it.
I don't know, but he thinks it's so funny.
I think it's when I tried it.
Ruh.
It was kind of cute. You can't do it. So that's what's great about it.
Ruh.
It's like, so I hear two things when I hear this. I hear Simba from The Lion King trying to roar like Mufasa, and then I also hear like I said, the little zombie from Minecraft.
Yeah.
Anybody who's played you haven't played Minecraft.
Yes, I have.
I said, have you? I was asking. Goodness gracious.
Yes, I played Minecraft.
Okay, I didn't know if you played Minecraft. Do you know the little zombies and how they sound?
Yes. Remember, one killed me. I was trying to plant my garden and one killed me.
You weren't even planting a garden. You were planting like a botanical.
I wanted our house to be pretty.
Wheat. Exactly. You had flowers, not wheat. You weren't planting a garden.
It was a garden with flowers.
But like, no.
Can a garden be flowers? Let me know.
I feel like there's a different name for that.
Christy, let me know.
Mom knows. She'll know better than me. I don't know. I'm not a...
Now you back down because I brought your mom in.
I called you Sherry earlier. I can't remember what about, but I did.
You did, though. I don't remember either.
Guess what time it is?
Midnight.
You're awfully close.
Really?
No, don't look at your phone.
Oh.
Goodness gracious. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, you made this no fun.
I'm sorry. It's 11:47.
What time?
11:47?
No.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
You went the wrong way. Not that
11:37.
No, you started at midnight.
11:57.
Bingo.
Really? Oh my gosh.
No, I lied.
Why is he lying to me?
Try one more time.
11:56. 58.
There you go.
Okay.
I can't believe we stayed up this late.
How do we have so much to talk about?
Surely we're boring. Please let us know if we're boring. I'll stop making podcasts if we're that boring.
Like and comment below whether we're boring or not.
Do you think
subscribe if we're boring?
Subscribe if we're boring or not boring. That's how you win that one. It's
well, if we're not boring, they're already subscribed. Because we're so
they should be, but like I see people who are interesting and I don't necessarily subscribe. And just like, oh wow, that was really cool. Click next video. Consumerism, baby.
Consumerism.
That's just how life is. I'm all about the new content. Next thing. Is it appropriate to have super, super long podcasts? Do people like that? Or so when you're listening to a podcast, what do you like listening to? 30-minute podcast, 40-minute.
I don't know, because I kind of listen to them as I do stuff. So if it's something that I'm interested in, then I'll listen to it.
Okay. Even if it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. I like listening to.
I don't think I normally listen to one that are that long. Like an hour is normally my limit, like the most I listen to. But that's just the type of podcast I listen to.
Okay. See, I didn't listen to podcasts too much until this summer. I started listening to Joe Rogan, of course.
Yeah.
I kind of listened to him the summer before.
And his get really long, so you can't really use him as like a metric.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like because I haven't really listened to any others, his is the only one I know. So sometimes, you hear an hour and a half. They're normally over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They're longer than that. So you'll hear hour and a half to 4 hours with Alex Jones, which hilarious, by the way. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I go for an hour 25? Do I just go until the conversation seems like it's over?
I don't know.
Still learning my podcasting life, but I really enjoy it. I think I said it when I was talking to B Moss a couple nights ago. I just enjoy talking. I feel like there are plenty of people who don't necessarily get like a conversation with certain people like this. How many times do you really sit down with someone for an hour? We're at an hour and a half. An hour and a half and talk with somebody about anything. Me and you, sure, we should talk for an hour and a half because we're, girlfriend, boyfriend, but you don't have that with friends. You don't even talk on the phone with anybody for an hour and a half, hardly. So I'm glad I'm able to talk with B Moss for, we talked for like almost 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, sure.
But I think it's a really good thing because you start to talk about anything from political views to moral and ethics, talking about anything and everything, and you just learn something, you get a new perspective, and it's cool. It's pretty neat. I think there's a huge benefit to just talking to people because social media is the devil.
Social media is a bunch of one-liners.
Hoopla.
What you can do with that?
Yeah.
Not much.
One-liners, yeah. You go on Twitter, you get 140 characters. I don't know if that's right anymore. I'm not on Twitter ever.
But not that much. I mean, you can't say that much.
Yeah. Are you on Twitter ever?
No, I've never been on Twitter.
I haven't been on Twitter. Why does it keep beeping? Oh, I think that's this thing.
What'd you do?
Off. No, I think it. Beep 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 beep. Give me a couple beep 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 beeps.
Beep 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 beep.
I don't think you did it quite as well as I did.
Beep 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 beep.
My sound waves look better than yours. Just saying.
How do I make them look better?
Just more distinct, I guess.
Beep 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 beep.
But like really fast.
Beep 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 beep.
That was better. That was better for real.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Maybe it's because
killing it.
I'm a musical artist and you're not.
That's probably what it is.
This is the greatest show. We light it up. We won't come down.
You trying to get pumped right now?
Okay, it's 12 o'clock. Of course I'm trying to get pumped. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
How many people do you think are watching at this point?
One, your mom.
You're probably... There might be two. My dad might have accidentally walked into the room. He might be in the room watching it with my mom. Or it's 0 timeout. My dad just walked in the room. My mom's laying on the couch asleep.
Yeah, that's probably
and
more
now
what it
my
is.
Dad's watching.
That's more realistic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I was imagining. Your mom's sleeping on the couch.
Nope. Ransom's in his trailer asleep. Yep. So just
he's
my dad.
downstairs asleep. Because he's downstairs now. Right?
Oh yeah, he is sleeping downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ransom, answer my calls. Call me, brother, because I called you twice and I got no answer. What the hell's going on? This is April the 17th, so 18th, excuse me. It is now, I don't know if you're able to see that.
Already?
12:03, April 18th, Sunday, 2021. Can you believe it's 2021?
No.
Did you ever think about that when you were like in 8th grade? You're like, man, I will never be a high school graduate.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to high school graduate and you're like, I will never be a college graduate. I'm past that phase now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't be 50. What am I going to, I got to do something before I'm 50.
I feel like my life is going to end all of a sudden. Like the next 30 years are going to go by so fast.
Yeah.
The past 4, I can't even believe happened.
Yeah.
They were so fast.
That's a weird thing. I think I talked to you about this. It's like the next year of life feels way shorter because it's that much of a fractional, or like it's that much less of a fraction of your life. So like first year of life, 100% of your life. Your second year of life is 50% of your life because now you've lived 2 years. And so I don't know, now we're 22, 23 years old. they feel super short because they only get shorter, days, or what is it, years turn into months, turn into days, or turn into weeks, turn into days, hours, minutes, seconds, I don't know. Pretty intense. I don't know how life's gonna go. It's kind of scary, right?
It is scary,
but it's exciting too.
It's so exciting, and I think about like where we'll be 5 years from now. That's what I'm really excited about.
I have no fucking clue where we'll be in 5 years. I hope to be.
We'll be together.
That's the plan, right?
That's my plan.
All right. I still think that Kansas City is like our best spot.
I agree. At this time.
At this time, yeah. End goal, I'd like to be...
Definitely getting married in Kansas City feels like the best option.
See, this is a big deal putting this... Did we talk about this on the last podcast? Getting married at all? You just said that.
Remember.
You said the M word.
Sorry, I put it out there.
Big deal. Big deal. It is, again, 4/18/2021, and we're talking about this. I hope we can come back to this, listen to it, and see what progress we've made in a year.
I hope so. That'll be interesting.
Okay, now for the public, because, again, anybody who's an hour and 30 in is devoted to listening to us, you know what I mean? So if you'd like to hear this, our hope is, we talk about our timeline. We talk about where we want to be in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, which we haven't really even... 5 and 10 years is super hazy. We don't talk about that quite as much as, what are we going to do in the next year? So anyway, next year, hoping to be married in the next year and a half. That's a realistic thing, and she's, I'm sure, giddy and happy inside. She gave me a little smirk.
No, I'm containing it.
Oh my gosh, no, it's no big deal.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel nothing. I just.
You feel nothing?
It's a lie. I feel a lot of things.
Are you gonna leave me?
No.
It doesn't sound like it.
I feel pumped. You know that. That's how I feel.
Okay. If you say so, I'll believe you.
I feel
Regardless, we're putting this on blast for people to hear. So, again, a year from now, I'm excited to see what comes of it. Did you listen to Sam and my podcast, that second one, much? Did you hear it all the way through? Do you remember?
To what part are you referring?
The part I'm talking about is basically one of the things I'm really enjoying about podcasting is like talking from a 22-year-old's perspective. Do you remember me saying anything about that? So right now I'm 22 years old. Everything I'm saying is strictly from a 22-year-old's perspective. I can't. I'm not 16. I'm not 40. I'm not a female. Whatever it is. I'm 22 years old, male, and I'm a subject of my past, right? So I'm glad that hopefully in the future, my children, maybe our children, well, hopefully our children. What do you want? What do you want me to say? How am I saying that wrong?
Our children.
Sorry, our children will be able to see this and see life from my perspective at this time, and maybe gain something from it. I don't know. I truly don't know if that'll be the case. But it's like my dad didn't have this technology to do this. Would he have done it when he was this old? Who knows? Not even of the conversation, but like. I have the ability. Why not do it? Why not hopefully give my kids a lesson whenever they're not even 22 years old? Maybe they'll see that when they're 16 and be like, okay, I know that I want to be at this stage when I'm 20 years old. I know maybe they'll be a little more introspective than I was at 15. Maybe there'll be a little more planning ahead and saving money or doing this or doing that.
Hope they're better than I was.
Like that's the reality of it. You're trying to hopefully make your next generation better, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
It's reality. Real deal, big deal. Are you getting tired?
Yeah.
You look tired.
You're getting like, there's like
you're blinking.
Longer
That's
time
it.
Before it blinks.
You got the blink, and like when you open your eyes kind of like roll back forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry you're noticing that.
That's okay.
Thought it was just me.
Are you ready to shut it down? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you.
Let me turn on my ergonomic mouse and get ready to shut it off.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to get less fun.
Less fun?
I didn't start out that fun, but I'm going to get less fun.
Everybody who's in the comments at this point, an hour and 35 minutes in, maybe a little less because I normally record before I even start talking and sign on and everything. But regardless, if you're on at this point, please hype Annika up because she's not that lame. She's up at 12:09.
Oh my gosh.
Now it's a Sunday morning.
I'm crazy like that.
But she's ready for bed. So still, like, try to throw it in there like you're not that lame, but you're still lame. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I told Annika about a week ago. I was like, we were on the phone. I think we were talking. And I said, Annika, you're suggestible. And you're like, yeah, you're right. He said, yeah, I am suggestible. You're right.
It's like if someone says the word gullible is written on the ceiling and you look up, like that's basically what I did.
You're like, where? What?
What? No way.
No. Oh no, that's not it.
That's not it. No.
No, but
although I am ant girl, and ants will follow me onto the ceiling wherever I am.
That might be true. It was just so perfect though because I was like, I can't remember what I said. I was like, how about we do this? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, Annika, you're pretty suggestible. And you're like, yeah, I am. I was like, just prove my point, I guess.
Hey, I just want to go along to get along,
Yeah.
Just, I want you to be happy because that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I don't really care that much. I mean, I care.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you don't care about...
That's not what I meant. I care about making you happy and other people around me happy so that I'm happy. You happy, I'm happy.
You happy, I happy?
You happy, I happy.
I happy, you happy?
Exactamente.
¿Te hablas español?
Sí, hablo español.
¿Te quieres un cerveza?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Te quieres?
No.
¿Por qué,
Porque
mi novia?
Es muy tarde en la novia. Wait. In la...
Morning? I don't know what morning is.
I think I just said fiance.
No, you did. You said in la tarde. You said in the evening. I think.
I said something weird.
I don't know.
Ignore that. Don't take that to heart.
Next time we need to talk about nihilism. I was thinking about that because of something you just said. I'll probably rewatch this, edit it, and do everything I need to.
Okay.
But, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, of course, Mom, love you. I know you might be watching this point. You might be asleep. I don't know. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed listening. Love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thanks again.